Right, so this is a haul video. You came here for the haul. I think I'll start with let's start with the clothes. Well, I'll start with the shirt actually. So this is a shirt I got, and actually let's see if you can see it. I think it's the Mondo one, but yeah, it's like Godzilla, Heisei Godzilla, Smash Into the City. I love this teal blue, I guess teal, and the purple. I love that combo. I love the artwork of Godzilla on the shirt. I actually don't remember what brand this is. So if anybody knows what I want to say it's Mondo. So I got this cool patch can you see that? So this is a pretty awesome patch I got on Etsy. It's just like Godzilla in in that famous like painting of those waves in Japan or whatever, I guess, in that style. And I added it to this jacket. And my hope is to add more patches to this jacket. So do expect more patches on this jacket in the future. I really like this one, and I'll probably get more in the future. I want to add more stuff, buttons, and I've kind of done that already anyway with my other jackets, but I really want to add more because this jacket is, it's nice and all, but it's kind of plain. So I want to add more to it. So this patch is just the beginning. So expect more cool stuff. So in terms of clothes, that's kind of what I got. I think this is neat, but I also got this on Etsy. So this is a Godzilla keychain. The funny thing is it's actually a lot bigger than I expected because it's meant to go on your keychain, but it's really big actually, in my opinion. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep them on a keychain or just keep them on my desk for fun. I think it looks really cool, and it's like this fun little thing. They're flexible or something. I don't know if this is like a stress relief type thing too, but I think it's really cool, and I like the way it's designed and everything. Yeah, and I think it's actually 3D printed, it looks like. So, this is a cool little thing. This is a fun little thing just to have on my desk. And like I said, I probably won't use it as a keychain, but I can attach it to something. Maybe a backpack, maybe, but he is kind of big. We have this Jeep from Jurassic Park. What I'll do though, there's little guys inside of it, so I'm gonna see if I can take them out. So these were like these little Jurassic Park, I think they were for Jurassic World Dominion, and it was like one of those little mystery boxes. So you'd buy these guys, and they would come. You wouldn't know what was in them until you open the box, I think it was. So then there's this guy as well. I wanted to say it was an iguanodon, but honestly, actually, I'm not really sure what it is. And then in the back, I got these two Lego figures of Ian, Malcolm, and Claire. Here's the actual Jeep itself. This is a super cool Jeep. I really like this. This was really cool to get. I'm not like a car person or anything, but this was cool just because of it's Jurassic Park. And I always thought the Jeeps in Jurassic Park were really, really cool. So this is it's die cast, and so the front hood pops open. The wheels they're a nice plastic. The doors open. As someone who's not a car person at all, this is a cool little piece of memorabilia, because I think the Jurassic Park Jeeps are kind of iconic. I think that's the best way to say them. Yeah, you can really see the quality of that. It's really good. So this is really nice. I really like it. You see the back? There's like a little license plate. The front too, but the back, and then the front, like I said, also has a license plate. But unfortunately, I wish the hook was an actual hook. It's just plastic. So that's the only thing. But it's really nice. Obviously, the title, the thumbnail says Bandai Megaguirus. Here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if I can get her into the frame, into the shot. Bandai Megaguirus 2022 figure, I guess. Though, I mean, the film is from 2001, but I just always thought Megaguirus was such a cool design. And it was a figure I always really wanted to own. They didn't really make too many because they just had either the Megaguirus that came in that toy set that had Godzilla, Meganulon, the two early forms, and then the Godzilla with the orange dorsal fins. The only other figure was the theater exclusive version. It was really tough, so I never got my hands on a Megaguirus figure, even though I really wanted one. So as soon as I saw that Megaguirus was coming out, I really wanted to get my hands on her. I will say, Bandai Movie Monsters has been putting out a lot of figures lately. They actually also had Batra come out at the same time as Megaguirus, and it was kind of unannounced. And I was almost stuck between getting Batra or Megaguirus, but I just had more of a personal reason, I guess, to get Megaguirus. All that aside, why I got this figure, what are my thoughts on this figure, right? First off, I will say that The figure is a bit smaller than I expected, actually. My Gamera figure as well that I got not too long ago, he was also a little bit smaller than I expected. That aside, the sculpt, fantastic. I think where Bandai excels is the sculpts. Their figures are super, super well done with the sculpts. I don't know if you can tell by the quality on my phone, but this figure is super detailed. The sculpt is fantastic on this figure. It looks really, really good. The wings, like the individual detail on the wings is amazing. The detail on this figure is super nice. Maybe the one thing I would say is I wish they had, you know, actually sculpted the little, what do you call these? Not legs, but her like arms under her belly. My figure, the wings are a little bent. If I put a head on, you can kind of tell that one wing got a little bit, but that has nothing to do with the sculpt. That's just kind of how it arrived. So that's more of like due to transportation. So sculpts, I definitely say 8 or 9 out of 10. Paint job actually is also pretty strong on this figure. They use this really nice like gold. You know, even though Megaguirus doesn't really look like it, it does appear that she has kind of a golden hue to some of her areas, especially on like her horns. On her wings, and it looks really nice here, and then on her head as well. So I don't know how well you can tell it obviously in this lighting. Maybe it doesn't do it justice. Here as well, I can just kind of, you know, it's a little bit sloppy, I will say. The paint just kind of bleeds over into the next little area, but I didn't even really notice that until like now. So if I move her a little bit, you can kind of see that the wings are very like shiny and silvery, and I really like that. And it's also on the bottom as well, like this really nice shiny reflective paint. And then they even gave, you know, some detail, because they could have just painted this whole underbelly purple like the rest of her, but they actually gave her, you know, some detail on the underbelly. So that's really nice too. Now I will say again, it seems like with these little like, what are these, arms or legs or something, as they kept them all the same sculpt, they also didn't really add any detail to them. So they are just, I think this is probably the weakest part of the figure, to be fair. These little leg wing things, leg arm things, because they have like no, they're just, you know, one sculpt, and they all have one very basic purple paint job. You know, maybe the paint job is a little flat on the tail, but I think it's kind of accurate. I do remember, I think these parts were red, these little circular parts, but this is probably just my figure. My little, like, I guess, is it the stinger? Is a little bent. Again, that's probably just the way that she was transported. That has nothing to do with the figure itself. I think for the paint job, I'd give a 7 to an 8. It's fairly strong, but as is typical Bandai, they kind of tend to just, you know, skip over some parts. And I guess the last part would be like the articulation. Her only real articulation is her arms, which I'm happy they move at all. Like, her arms move actually quite a bit. They move all the way here, and then they come all the way inside like this. So her arms can move quite a bit, but I will say that there's no wing articulation. There's no real tail articulation. It's just kind of all there. So it doesn't really, you know, the wings are soft, like it's a soft plastic, but yeah, there's no articulation in the wings, which, I mean, I don't know how much you could have expected in terms of articulation, but it would be kind of cool if they could at least rotate a little bit, or maybe the tail, or, you know, has some amount of articulation, like, but I do understand that there's not much, or at least the head. Maybe it would have been nice to get a bit of head articulation so she can move her head. I'd say articulation probably, I mean, there's not really much, so. But considering this kind of design, you can't do that much articulation either, I guess. So maybe like a 6 or 7 out of 10 for articulation, 8 or 7 for the paint job, and then 8 or 9 for the sculpt. I mean, look, overall, it's a very good figure. Like, and if you're a big fan of Megaguirus, it's really good. Also, it's our only figure of Megaguirus in like 20 years. For me, this is definitely worth it. Even if you're not a huge fan of Megaguirus, it's still like a nice figure to have. If you're a big fan of Megaguirus, it's like a must-have. I guess last thing was we'll look at the tag. So the tag is her, that shot at night. And it's a pretty cool shot. Yeah, it says 2022. Has more detail and information. see if I can open that for you all. See if that you can see all that. So there's some nice I think there's some stats about her and how big she is and all that. And then the back side is just like this cool, which they've been doing now with these tags, this cool kind of cutoff thing. I think that's her wing. And it says like Godzilla X Megaguirus, G Annihilation Strategy, is that what it stands for? And then like Movie Monster Series. It's a nice tag actually, I like it. I like the tags that Bandai has. But overall, a nice little haul. Yeah, I know that Christmas was like a few weeks ago, but I just now had a chance to kind of do this. That's everything I have for the haul. But thank you all for the love and support as always. And I guess I'll see you all in the next stream or video. All right, everyone. I'll see you later. Bye.